Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today, following Sir Capon. And, I was having a conversation, this is post-recorded obviously, I was having a conversation about Roman infantry, but this is the end game. Let's do it. Work. And we don't know much about their...
Where you found Tom?
What?
Sneaking into Brannick all on your own? Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal.
Thank you.
You wouldn't catch me doing that.
No, I wouldn't.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
Well, yeah, quest markers are a powerful incentive. And also, it was true that we wanted to do it.
There's no sign of them. Move on.
It dreads me to think what that line about, what will I say to him, was about. Because it was more about, oh, my father, the person I grew up with, for sure, and cared for me and all that, for sure.
I'm glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he.
I thought he was going to say I'm twice the
Well,
man
I won't
he is,
keep
but
you
he's
any
not.
longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Awkward, embarrassed silences, staring at each other and being like, you're my Lord Liege.
You alright, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
I can lend you Roach. That was his castle over there.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
Prison as well, I
If the
suppose.
word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Well, he knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
Like all kids do.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
That's not what is in the blood. But we can pretend it is.
I lost the one thing I had left from him.
What?
Your sword.
Oh, the sword. Oh, yeah.
Ah. The sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too.
Didn't he just talk about
And then
honor
I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it.
and all that again?
I'll never forget his face.
I'm not...
Or his name.
Oh, right. It's a different person.
Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son.
Vengeance.
But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
A sword?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for.
Actually...
Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did.
Oh.
But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds,
Mine is really nice.
I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front.
Were they really that poor by this time that they didn't have money for horses?
It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride.
Except...
Although it would be better if you were a little smaller.
And if I didn't know how to ride.
My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
That's something he mentioned, the friends, that I think would be a really good thing to have in the storyline, but I think open world, single player, single character games have a very big amount of trouble getting our character to get, have friends. Because we do have some acquaintances, we do have some, like, probably Sir Capon stands to mind in regards to friends. But we also had those 2 old fools that, not old, but young fools, that they lived with us in Skalitz. So there's a few other characters that Henry could think of as friends. It's, he never really grows, though, Henry doesn't. Huh. I don't, never really, it's interesting because there's no story arc, even in the, like, certainly not in the subtext, in the sort of, the teachings that he gets and the morale of his storyline. There's nothing like that. But specifically, there's nothing in his objectives, which is just the sword from beginning to end, and he doesn't get it. So he's just sort of, it's not really the story of Henry, it's more the story of Sir Radzig, which is, it's the story, a full story for sure, from beginning to end. But yeah, interesting. It wasn't the ending I was expecting, because I thought it was, because he could have ended with something about Henry, but it's not about him. And it makes sense that it wouldn't make sense if it were about him, if he had been dealing with any dilemma with, yeah, I don't know, but no, it's about Radzig, and it's about the castle, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a DLC out. I think it might be an expansion, which is precisely more adventures. I think it's adventures with Capon, and he just gets himself into more trouble. Honestly, I really didn't enjoy the storylines with him, because they were, I don't know, they felt forced, and his character honestly never really felt any I didn't feel respect for his character. I feel as a Henry, I guess. So maybe if he were in a situation where he did something unexpected, or stood out as a hero, or even as a villain, that would be more interesting. But he never really does much. He's just sort of a personage that's just there. So yeah, that's gonna be that for Kingdom Come Deliverance. I hope you have enjoyed this long journey. of 163 episodes. And I hope to see you in another Let's Play. I have many of them, and you can check any of them. That you can just go to my playlist. There's a bunch of my playlist page. There's so many. Yeah, and I will be starting a new one pretty soon as well. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go. Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
Wait. What? Don't give me the credits if there's an epilogue. Also, I was just talking about not having friends, and in comes a person who acts like a companion from a BioWare game, but he's not. Not a companion from a BioWare game. Because it's what I was saying. Single player, single character, open world. And also the game is loaded this hurriedly. Yeah, open world, they are probably being more the biggest culprit of it all, of Henry not having friends, because he doesn't. He doesn't have friends. He doesn't have any friends, and he's still talking about the sword, or his father is in his dreams. It's just a thing. It is just a thing. Don't don't make the point of your game. Well, not the point of your game. Certainly not, because it's about Radzig. But the point of your main character, I guess, in your game, sound like, oh, it's just a thing. Can you imagine? I don't know, like the. Can you imagine a story about the knights going after the what's the name of that thing, the Holy Grail or something, and some people just being like, at the end the moral is, that's just a thing, don't worry about the knights, the Holy Grail, what really matters is the friendship. And you're like, what friendship? This is a single player open world game, there's no friends, there's only
How? Quest, are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
That whole conversation about honor really makes no sense if they are still hunting him.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
That's the one they like, isn't it?
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sounds like it.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
Henry can do it.
People like him, though.
Henry, step up.
What can we do now?
You're the king.
Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side.
How are they?
Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
Is this sequel bait, I wonder? Because that sounds like an interesting
What kind of help, though?
situation.
Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like scarlets? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yeah, because he supported Sigismund, I suppose.
Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
Is that a bad idea?
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
gonna need to
send
do
Sir
that.
John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I'm a little bit hung up on the wall. He didn't want to give up the crown because of the privileges that you
I
gain.
expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund. If they'll make trouble or join our side,
But we have to ask in a way that won't leave Sir Capon being run out of the castle with a whip.
Exactly.
How about writing that you're concerned about current events and that you want to see things settled peaceably, and then ask the opinion of the League of Lords?
Very well said, sir. And what they want to do about freeing King Wenceslas.
Whether they think liberating King Wenceslas IV might contribute to resolving the dispute?
And what they plan to do about the god-awful mess in this country.
What steps they envisage taking to end the pillaging of Bohemia by foreign armies?
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Well, I'd also venture to suggest one more. What is their stance on that is, the initiatives of Margrave Jobst of Moravia and a large part of the Bohemian nobility? Whether they plan to take action against them or support their efforts?
You read my thoughts, sir.
I was gonna say he's the one writing the letter, and he was saying, what are their opinion on my... And yeah, that's just telling. That's on purpose there to make sure we understand that it's him who's controlling the situation, which is totally fine as far as I'm aware. I mean, I really have no allegiance. Either one of them can rule for all I care. But that's going to be that for today. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode. The last episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next episode. Bye-bye.